G'day guys, welcome back again. Part 3 of my experiment with pinks and purples. Now as you can see here, I'm going back to my 3-to-1 mix. It's what I always use and there's a reason for that. I have experimented previously about a year or so ago with doing 2-to-1 ratios. Wasn't happy with the results. So I do use 3-to-1, but I did want to show you the results of 2-to-1. You may remember in the previous videos, the last two with the pinks, the cells just weren't a good shape, didn't really get a good result. So going back to 3 parts Floetrol, 1 part Global. So in these cups here, we have 90 grams of Floetrol to 30 grams of paint. That gives us 120 grams, and that is 4 drops of oil, coconut milk, dimethicone, whatever you want to use. I'm using dimethicone in this one. It's a really thick, I don't know if you can see that in there. It moves quite slowly. It's a thick oil. That's 1000 dimethicone. You can buy 350 dimethicone as well, but that one is a bit thicker. So in the cup, my dirty pour cup, I'm just going to spray it with silicone just to help all the paint come out. And that will give us some extra little cells as well, hopefully. Get some different size cells because of the spray. So, Floetrol to Global Impasto. Don't get this mixed up with the Global Flow, which is really thin and runny. It's not really appropriate for this type of painting. Okay, now I'll put this oil in, dimethicone. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can probably see how thick it is, but it sits on top, leaves a little trail. 2, 3, 4. Might not even need that much. This one is just the leftover hibiscus from the previous pour. It takes over, so I'm not really adding a lot more of it. I don't want to make any more of it. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And because it's a bit thicker, I'm going to go around 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Done. Move that out of the way. Now, in the last video, I poured the paint from up high. In this one, I'm going to layer paint in cup. So I'm going to do that gently. And see if we can get a better result. Pour some white in, and I'm going to add a little bit of extra white this time. I didn't put enough white in my last one. Purple. I'm going to put that just over here on the side. You probably can't see it. You might see an edge of it. Is my big metallic ring pour. I'm trying very hard not to spill anything on it. But I've run out of table space, so I've just got this little area here that I'm working on now. We'll see what happens with the layering in different areas. They're not all going on top of each other. I'm moving them around a bit. Put this with the darker purple, see what happens. Haven't actually tried this before, moving the paint around in the cup. So we'll see what happens. So I hope you don't mind me putting up my experiments, whether they be fails or successes. I think it's nice to see people's fails as well. Well, not necessarily fails, but maybe things that don't particularly work out as well as you'd planned. It's how we learn. If I just put up everything that does work, I think it'd be nice to see what doesn't work. So those two previous ones today with the thicker mix, 2 to 1, you get to see the results of those. I personally don't really like the effect of that thicker mix. Okay, full cup. And I'm not going to paint my edges because this is going to cover. And hopefully I won't splat it too much. Actually, whoops, no, I'm just going to go for it. There we go. Just try not to get any on my metallic ring pour over there. You can see straight away the cup's clean on the bottom there and down the sides, and that's from the silicone oil. So we can get all our paint out. We're not going to lose any. A lot of cell action already there. Just push that up so that I can pull it down. Now, because this is a thinner mix, I don't want to torch at this stage. I don't want the cells to get terribly big. I'm just going to start tilting. Maybe I can use a stick to help catch my paint. Not really. Losing a lot off the sides. That's okay. Happens with a thinner mix. Your paint flows much more easily, covers much more easily. You don't have to tilt as much. Still bring the weight back to the center. Might go for this corner next, seeing as it's almost covered. Put a stick there and try to stop some of that paint from going off the edge. Help push it down into the corner maybe. Huge cells, as you can see. I haven't torched at all. That's what happens with a thinner mix. Might do this one next, seeing as it's the biggest one. Turn it around. Got the biggest empty corner, so we'll go there next. So I hope you can see the difference between the previous pours with the 2 to 1 ratio and now the 3 to 1 ratio. The difference in the shape of the cells more so is what I'm looking for. Not so easy on doing it on a card as it is a canvas, because you haven't got the sides to sort of catch the paint on. No sides on this, so it's not so easy to catch the paint. Back to the center. This reminds me a bit of a galaxy. I don't really like those two big white blobs there. See if I can get rid of them. Not much white paint left, but I'll just pop a little bit there. Would like a little bit of white in that corner. A little bit of purple. A little bit of pink, and that's just going to help pull the paint into that corner. Just need to go over that bottom corner and then we're done. I don't see a lot of difference in the result from layering the paint, really. Maybe you can. Bring the paint back to the center. Wipe my hands, and then I might torch a little bit, see if I can get any other cells up, pop the bubbles. A few smaller cells coming up. Okay, so we've got some smaller cells that have popped up. We've got our bigger cells from stretching. A little bit more white in this one. A little bit more different colours. Got a bit of purple here, some pink there, some white there, some more of a dark pink, more purple. I guess that's because of the layers, whereas the other one was more blended and it was just sort of all pink. If you saw that one, it was more all the same colour, whereas this one does have different sort of rose ribbons of colour. So anyway, I think that's probably enough experimenting with pink and purple. Running out of room to put things. So I will see you next time. Let me know if anyone wants me to do a back to basics, you know, starting preparing canvases, how to mix paints, that sort of thing. And I'll go through weighing it all, show you how I do it. Okay, that's it. See you later.